Hey guys, what's going on? It's Hey Coach Ryan, episode 15. I'm Coach Ryan Knapp, and today we're going to talk about heat acclimatization, even though it's December in Boston. Now, why are we talking about this topic? Because I'm lucky enough to be able to be the head coach for the Run Across Haiti, which is put on by a group and organization called Team Tassie. What Team Tassie's goal is basically to eradicate global poverty. How do they do that? They do a lot of their focus now in Haiti. And last year, they founded the Run Across Haiti to be able to raise money to put to work in Haiti and to get people to work in Haiti and to not just go over and drop a bunch of last year's Super Bowl loser t-shirts and then leave. So they founded the Run Across Haiti. I was lucky enough last year to train a girl named Kelsey, who was who was part of the first group to go. And it was such an awesome experience working with her and then seeing her complete it that this year I was able to get more involved. So I'm super excited about it. And the heat acclimatization question came in the Slack group and in the Slack channel about training. And so I wanted to talk about this whole topic. Now that's going to take a little bit because I want to explain all of these different parts so people understand from science-wise why this is important, what's going on in our body, and how we're going to solve that. So as true to Hey Coach Ryan, I'm really here to explain it. I'm not here to give you like a 1-minute answer and send you on your way, because I think that, say knowledge is power, like that really old saying, but it really is in this case. Okay? So let's roll. Heat acclimatization. Heat acclimatization is heat protection. We do this so that our body can be better protected when we are out to perform in the elements. In this case, for you guys running across Haiti, when we're out to run across Haiti and run in the heat. For those that might be doing marathon to subs or some sort of other bad water, some sort of event like that, or just out running in your neighborhood when it's 100 degrees outside, that's why we're doing it, to protect our bodies. So what's going on in our body? Why is this stuff important? What happens when it gets hot outside? So when we're out running and our body warms up and it gets hot, the way that we cool down is to sweat. So our body sweats, and through the evaporation process, it helps to cool our body. Now, to be able to cool our blood, let's step back. So we sweat, and that's how we cool ourselves. When we're out and we're going for a run, our body and our heart specifically is pumping blood to the working muscles that need it. When it gets hot outside and we need to cool down our blood, so our body starts to notice that we're heating up, it actually takes the blood and it sends it to our skin, because it's closest to the outside. And then through evaporation and through sweat, it helps to cool down that blood, and then our blood goes back into the body. So it's this constant pumping of our heart to be able to do that. In order to get the blood to the skin, it has to pull blood away from the muscles that are calling for it. So let's say we're out running and our heart rate's at 160 beats per minute, okay? And with our normal blood and we're running, all of a sudden we take away blood that starts going to our skin, and that's not going to our muscles. And what happens is at the same pace that we're running, now our heart rate goes up to 170, and then it gets even hotter, and it goes up to 174, and then you see the trend that's basically happening there. So it goes to 160, 170, 174, and it keeps going up as we start to warm up and we warm up. So this is what we're trying to fight. We're trying to be able to keep our same effort, because we want to perform, right? You want to run across Haiti. So this performance aspect is what we're looking at. So we want to try to be able to continue to run and continue to perform at a high level in the heat and be able to negate this factor, okay? So what are we looking to increase in our body specifically? And then we'll talk about how to do it. We're looking to increase a couple things. Okay, we're looking to increase plasma volume. So increasing plasma volume will help to offset this. So it will help to keep, when our body's sending our blood and our plasma to the outside, to our skin, basically to start to cool. Having more plasma will allow us to have more to send to our working muscles, which helps to keep our heart rate down. We want to increase our sweat rate. By increasing our sweat rate, we cool ourselves off faster, and that's going to be better. So we will do that. We will lower our heart rate during exercise. So this whole thing happens. This whole thing is lowering our heart rate during exercise, because we're also getting these sorts of adaptations as well, because these all work together. Vasodilation, which is basically making the blood vessels bigger, which allow more blood to go to the skin to be able to cool. And then comfort. So comfort, I'm going to circle because comfort is a huge factor, and it's not often talked about when we talk about training for heat or heat acclimatizing. And what we want to do with comfort is basically if we can make ourselves more comfortable running in the heat, we're going to be better heat runners. Now, I myself would consider myself a cold weather runner. My wife would be considered a cold weather runner as well. We're not typically heat runners. So I know in the summer when it starts to get warm and when you're going to be out running in Haiti, if you're not comfortable, then your heart rate, you start to breathe a little bit harder. Your heart rate rises just because you're starting to feel uncomfortable. And then that causes the effort to be a lot higher. It causes your body to have to send more blood to the skin because the heart rate's higher and you start heating up. You see where I'm going with this. So if we can stay more comfortable, then we can control the heart rate and we don't have to have any unnecessary spike in basically breathing and ventilation or heart rate. And that's a big thing. And so we want to really focus on the comfort factor along with all of these other factors, because if we stay more comfortable, we can start to make these things happen a little more. Okay? So how do we do this? How do we acclimatize in the heat? And especially for you guys in Haiti that are going to Haiti, how do you acclimatize in the heat in an area or in a time, especially in North America, when it's not very cold outside? So ways that you can acclimatize for the heat and it's not hot outside. You can run on a treadmill or do work indoors, stair climb or whatever you're doing, and put on more clothes. So you can put on a winter hat, you can put on a long sleeve shirt and a jacket and basically heat yourself up when you're going. And this will help with the comfort factor and it'll help with the other factors as well. The top thing is if you live in an area where it's warm, you just go out and you run outside. So you want to be able to go on the treadmill with some more clothes. You might just get a couple weird looks, but that's okay, and do that. You want to start with all these things that I'm going to be talking about. We're looking starting between 20 and 30 minutes to start, and then slowly increasing up to about 100 minutes, maybe 2 hours if you need it, but you don't have to go any further than that. In workouts where you're specifically looking at acclimatizing for the heat, I'm sure you're going to be training more than 2 hours for your longest run for Haiti, but you don't have to do it. You only have to do maybe 100 minutes, like I said, up to 2 hours, and a specific run to really with the focus of acclimatizing for the heat. So we talked about treadmills and being able to do that. Two other good ways to do it are the comfort factor is to go in a sauna. My wife's from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so we and they, and now I am indoctrinated to calling it a sauna instead of a sauna. So you can go in there, pour some water on the rocks, get comfortable, start out with like 5 or 10 minutes and then slowly increase from there and just be able to breathe, be able to see if you can slow your heart rate down and just become comfortable in that sort of very hot environment. If you can do some push-ups or you can do some jumping jacks, cool. That's a great way to do it, to stay active in there and just really make sure that you are just keeping an eye on yourself too as you're starting to do it. But you can just breathe and relax and be able to be surrounded by that heat and just let it kind of, be there and let yourself be there. And that comfort factor is going to be huge for you, especially as the days go on, especially as, the time goes on. It gets to 5 hours or 6 hours into a run and you're going to be tired and irritable and you're just not going to want to be out there anymore. And the comfort factor becomes a huge, huge point in that. So if you can learn to be comfortable sitting in a really hot sauna, that's a good way to go. To kind of combine the two, working out and being hot, Bikram yoga is a great way to do it. That's the third one I usually recommend. Go to a Bikram class, learn, if you're not a yoga guy, you're going to get a great workout in anyway and a great stretch and great mobility and flexibility, and the comfort factor is going to be huge there too, because you're going to be encouraged to basically sweat and encouraged to do the exercise in there. Whereas if you're doing push-ups in a sauna, sometimes people aren't okay with that. So those three things we want to do when we're acclimatizing for the heat. So you're either out running outside or you're running with clothes on in a sauna, whatever the case is. You need to put your body into kind of stress and into give it that stimulus to be able to acclimatize. So what I mean by that is you don't want to be taking 50 ounces of water and trying to not be uncomfortable. You want to be uncomfortable because it's that ability to be uncomfortable, in this case in terms of your body, that will make those changes. Now I'm contradicting this, but what I mean by uncomfortable is you have to be hot and you have to let your body get a little dehydrated, because when it recovers, it's going to reap those benefits from that. So when you're running on the treadmill, you're drinking a little bit of water and making sure you're staying as hydrated as you need to, but you're not like slamming it down or almost doing what you do on race day or on, when you guys are going across Haiti. You want to do a little bit less than that. You're in a controlled environment, you'll be okay, and then you'll be able to recover afterwards and take in that water. Now, when do we want to do this, or how does it happen? You can get big improvements in acclimatizing for the heat in about 17 to 14 days. Now, I like about 30 days because I like to do it, put it this way, I like to do it in like every day or every other day or every 2 days, depending on training. So I'd say for you guys, you're really looking like early January, mid-January to really start like getting on the treadmill and running in the heat and that stuff. You can start doing it now if you want. Just do it kind of a little bit to become comfortable and do it in small spurts. But what you want to do is basically acclimatize for the heat, and then go to Haiti. If you acclimatize too far away, then stop doing it or do it less as you get closer, then you're going to lose the benefits of it. So it should happen really as you go toward the end of training. So a good way to think about it is to start now with some of these things at low durations, and then start, when you're 3-4 weeks out, like, yeah, you're doing, 90 minutes on a treadmill in, full like winter gear, that sort of thing. You're doing, you're able to do the Bikram yoga classes, and you're able to sit in the sauna for an hour or an hour and a half, whatever the case is. So start building up now. And then as you get closer to Haiti, it starts to increase. One of the things that we talk a lot about, and that questions that get asked when we talk about heat acclimatization, is sweating or how to hydrate. So really the big thing for me and all the science and literature that I've read and coaches that I've talked to, nutritionists and that, is really simple. If you're thirsty, you drink. And you're better to drink small amounts as you go along than to not drink and then slam down water. And you're going to be dehydrated. You guys running across Haiti will be dehydrated. You will be dehydrated when you finish stages, and then you will take in water, and you will take in, you'll take in water or electrolytes, after the event's over, and that's how you'll replenish your stores. You don't want to replenish and take in every single ounce of water that you lose when you're going, because your body can't process that, and you're going to have your performance is going to be a lot impaired if you're doing that. Just understand that you will be dehydrated. If you acclimatize for the heat and your body can do these things, you can raise the plasma volume, you can increase your sweat rate. You will be able to have a better time, basically, and have a more successful race in terms of the performance standpoint. So those are the big things when we look at acclimatizing for the heat. We talked about why we need to do it, what our body does, what our body does and we need to kind of counteract, how our body does that, what timeline we want to do it, the ways that we can do it, and then looking at hydration. The other thing for hydration is you can look at things like Salt Stick, Endurolites, by Hammer, S-Caps. Those things you can take in, and they'll help replenish electrolytes and salt. The science is out as to why they actually work or if they're necessary, but I use them personally myself. I don't think that they can hurt, so you can take those in and make sure that you have those with you with the race. So I know that was a long one, but I hope you understand acclimatizing for the heat a little bit better, and you understand why we want to do it. So if you guys specifically have any questions about this or want me to answer any other questions on Hey Coach Ryan, go ahead and leave me a comment in the Slack channel. For everyone not in the Run Across Haiti, I hope this is also helpful. Leave a message in the comments. Let me know how you run in the heat, what you do to acclimatize, and we will go from there. So we'll be back, what's today, Wednesday? So probably tomorrow with episode 16. Thanks so much for tuning in as always, and I hope you enjoy. And thanks again. Have a great day.